There's no problem a change of perspective can't solve. There's no problem a change of perspective can't solve, right? If you see your problem for what it actually is, right? And then we don't apply any form of emotion, because we will get emotional based on our perspective or our perception of a problem, right? We see what is, we see the fact of the problem, then there's our perception of it, then we look at it, right? And once we see it, we judge it and we get emotional about it, right? We judge it positive or negative. We start thinking about the future. What's going to come, in the future based on this current problem in the present moment. What am I going to do? What moves am I going to make? In all areas of life, relationships, finances, fitness, health, all areas of your life. You look at it and say, okay, what am I going to do? There's the problem, and then there's our perception of the problem. Which is why how we view a problem may be the true problem. Because there's always going to be problems in life, right? There's always going to be adversity. There's always going to be something that's going to stop us from doing or interrupt what we're doing, right? It's like we're making moves every day. There's something that interrupts us. Then there's adjustments that has to be made. However, our perception of the problem is the true problem. This is why I always tell people there's no problem a change of perspective can't solve. There is no problem a change of perspective can't solve. You're viewing a situation from a certain point of view that's getting you to go over, that's creating these thoughts, right? I see a situation, this is my point of view on it, and it's creating these thoughts. Now, what happens if I were to see things from another angle? What happens if I were to see this problem and say, okay, let's attack it, let's address it from another angle? Would I be able to see things from a different perspective? Will it create different feelings? Will it create different emotions? Will it create different thoughts? Right? And this is interesting because most people don't think that. It's like, well, wait a minute. How does a perspective change solve a problem? I can look at it different, but then the problem still exists. See, that's the mentality of one who hasn't changed the perspective. Because when you change your perspective on something, when you see a situation and you truly change your perspective on it, you'll see it as inspiration. You see it as opportunity, right? The worst thing to ever happen to you is actually the best thing to ever happen to you. That's a change of perspective. Wow, this is the worst thing to ever happen to me. Usually that's the best thing to ever happen to you. Because what comes about, what gets created after that, the person you become after something happens and the person you become after that, you look back and say, damn, because of that situation, I got more drive. Because of that situation, I got more fire. Because of that situation, I've gained a new perspective on life. When it comes to a break in pattern, when it comes to a crisis, those things bring awareness to the moves you've been making up to this point. Right? Just think about the worst thing that's ever happened to you. Think about it. Just think about the worst things that can ever happen to you. A crisis, something that's happened to you. You're like, wow, that right there has brought awareness to the moves you've been making up to this point. It's brought you back to reality. It hits you in the face with the truth. The truth hits you in the face. It woke you up. Oh shit, I see it. I see it. Now, is that the worst thing to ever happen to you if you actually see something within yourself? Is it the worst thing to ever happen to you being that you are where you are today because of that? Right? You're here right now watching this, or you hear psychologically the thoughts and the moves you're looking to create. That right there changes your perspective, changes the course of your life because you've been moving in a certain way. You got interrupted, right? A crisis happened. A problem exists. Now you're forced to make different moves. You're forced to move in a different direction. You're forced to make adjustments. You're forced to adapt and adjust. You're forced to do that. Now that's why I say there's no problem a change of perspective can't solve. Because it could be the worst thing for you. Could be the worst thing to ever happen to you, or it could be the best thing. The best thing to ever happen to you, right? Because when you see it, you observe it, you come face to face with the facts, and you're able to make adjustments. Is this making any sense, fam? Does this make any sense for you guys? Give me the double hand emojis if it's making sense to you. Give me the double hand emojis if this is making sense. Let me get some crowd engagement real quick. Give me some double emojis if this is making sense, fam. I'mACoffeeCo.com. Awesome. That's why this quote I posted the other day: failure is one of the best things that can ever happen to you. Failure is one of the greatest teachers of them all. Change your perspective on failure and it'll open up a whole new world of opportunity. Failure is one of the greatest things that can ever happen to you. Again, failure, problem, setback, right? A loss, a crisis, because it wakes your mind up. You start becoming aware of something new. You start seeing yourself for who you actually are. You start seeing what you've done, the mistakes you've made, the moves you made. People hate to fail, but failure is part of growth. People hate to make mistakes, but mistakes is part of the evolution of a human being. Oh, we did this, it doesn't work. Let's adapt and adjust. Oh, we did that, that doesn't work. Let's adapt and adjust. We lost here, that's okay. Let's keep going until. Those who win keep going until. That's the secret right there that nobody wants to tell you. Those who win, they just keep going. They fail forward. They keep going, keep going, keep going. And it's a challenge, right? You say it's a challenge. Of course it's a challenge. Of course it's a challenge. Can you imagine if it wasn't a challenge? Where would we be if there was no challenges? Where would you be? Think about this, the worst things in your life, the failures, the problems, and all these things. Where would you be if there was no challenge? Where would you be? Would you be as aware as you are now? Would you be where you are today if there was no setbacks, no failures, no mistakes, no challenges? If there wasn't a crisis in your life, would you be as aware as you are now about a particular situation in your life? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. There'll be no urgency. There'll be no drive. There'll be no fire. Right? There'll be no fire. You'll be lost and confused. You're walking. Life is great. And then you get smacked in the face one day by life itself. You're like, what's going on? Delusional. When there's no failure, when there's no struggle, when there's no challenges, you become delusional. This is why you see people live this life where they hope for extreme safety, comfort, and security. Please, please, please help me. Help me. Please, please. What that does is you live a delusional existence thinking that failure is not part of life itself. It's not part of being a human being. Thinking that failure is not one of the greatest teachers of them all. Thinking that you label problems bad. We label problems bad. This is a problem in my life. It's bad, right? Instead of looking at it as opportunity. Okay, this is a problem. Why is it a problem? Because it interrupted what I was doing. I was doing this interrupted that. Whether psychologically, physically, emotionally, financially, all areas of my life. I'm forced to create something new. Life is a never-ending game of adjustments. Life is a never-ending game of adjustments, fam. So if you're forced to create something new at all times and you're looking to stay the same, what's going on in your life? You're not prepared because you label problems bad. You don't want to create something new. You want things to stay the same, so you move in a certain way. You move with limitations. You create safety nets all around you, right? Think about all the safety nets one creates in their life. All the safety nets. Hey, this is my plan A, and then there's plan B, C, D, E, F, G, I, H, J, Z, X, W, all confusion, right? Hey, there's plan A, there's plan Z, and then there's plan D. And it's like, wait a minute. You're all over the place. What if we just went all in on plan A and made it work until? Can you imagine that mentality? Imagine there was nothing else but going through life, addressing and failing as much as you possibly can. Problems in my mind I don't understand. What if I dedicated my entire life to understanding this problem? What if there was nothing else more important than what's going on in here? What would life look like, man? What would life look like? What would life look like, man? Oh, Anthony, I got these problems in the mind I don't understand about myself. Cool. Why don't you dedicate your entire life to understanding that? Because once you understand that, there's clarity. No, but the show on 8 o'clock p.m. on, Monday nights is what I'm looking forward to instead. No. The party with my friends on Fridays, we gotta come on. We gotta live a little, you know what I'm saying? Gotta live a little. Gotta enjoy life a little bit. Come on, Anthony, it's not that serious. Don't take life so seriously. What's going on? Let's live a little. Let's party a little. While the problems in the mind still exist, we don't dedicate ourselves to it because it's challenging. It's arduous. It's tedious. It takes patience. It takes passion. It takes interest. Right? Yo, I got all this shit going on in my mind. The world is in my head. I see the world based on my perception on life, which is backed by deep levels of conditioning. I'm living the results that I really don't like. I don't like these results. I don't like how I feel in the day-to-day. There's problems that I look to escape from. What if we dedicated our life to understanding them? What if we dedicated our life to understanding the problems in our mind? What would life look like, man? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I'm not telling you what to do, how to live your life, do this or you fucking da-da-da. I'm just asking, what would life look like? Think about it. Yo, I dedicated my whole life to understanding myself. And because of that, there's freedom. Because of that, there's awareness. Because of that, there's clarity. Because of that, there's problems that come my way and I embrace it all because I understand. It's part of life. This is my opportunity. Problems become opportunities. Failures become lessons. Mistakes become something you look forward to. Make a mistake. Oh, I've learned. Make another mistake. Oh, I've learned. I won't do that again. Make another mistake. I learned. Okay, so level 1, I made a mistake. Level 2, I made a mistake. Level 3, I made a mistake. Level 4, I made a mistake. Level 5, I made a mistake. But now I know. While you look back and the other's stuck at level 1, afraid to make the mistake. Afraid to go. Afraid to lose. Afraid to fail. Afraid of setbacks and all these challenges. So what do you do instead? I'm afraid to go straight. So what do you do instead? You go backwards? You stay in the same place? Stay in the same position wishing things change for you when nothing is going to change? Nothing is going to change in the way that you imagine it to, right? Because things will change, inevitably so. Everything changes, inevitably. Everything changes because everything around you changes. If you stay the same and everything around you changes, right? That's change because it's not the same. You're either growing or dying. You're either becoming more aware or your brain is deteriorating every second of the day. So to be afraid because of these illusions you've created for yourself or based on what you prioritize. I was told failure's bad. I was told that setbacks and mistakes are bad. When the best thing that can ever happen to you is failure. Now, going through that, how do you see that as opportunity? How does one see that? Because attachment to anything creates the fear of losing it, right? Attachment to anything. If I have attachment to this, it creates the fear of losing it. So when I lose it, there's sadness. When I lose it, there's sort of pain, right? I'm attached to this. I lost it. There's pain. So how can one say that that's an opportunity for me because I actually enjoy this, or I love this, or this was great for me? But now there's pain because now it's not there, or this opportunity is not there. This situation's not there. This environment I was a part of is not there, or this loved one, passed away, or whatever it is. Attachment to anything creates the fear of losing it. So how is that opportunity, Anthony? How is that the best thing to ever happen to me if that's the worst thing to ever happen to me? Again, there's no problem a change of perspective can't solve. Because you can see something and use it as inspiration or use it as education to create something new. Next time, I'm going to do it like this, if there's a next time. Or the next business I build, the next job I work in, the next relationship I'm in, the people who are in my life now today, I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to live life every single day because I know what it feels like to fail, to go through struggle. I know what it feels like. Morning, brother. Appreciate you for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. So what do we do? What do? We just live life and be oblivious, or what do? Go through life without challenges, without adversity, without passion, right? No matter how many times you try to avoid it, it's going to happen. Adversity will happen. That's just part of life because nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same. Everything deteriorates slowly, right? Everything gets old slowly. Things start to die off slowly. Material things, your body, your mind, everything changes. So what do? We got to change our perspective on these things. And it doesn't mean that don't move with any emotion either, right? Because people are like, so what do you mean? So don't get sad when this ends, or don't get sad with this, or don't cry here, or don't do this. We're not talking about being this stoic that's so militant. No, man, I am made of steel. My brain is bulletproof. No. You can let things hit you, fine. Let things hit you, fine. Let it hit you. Let it hit you. Let it get you, right? Cry your fucking eyes out if that's what you want to do. But the complaining, the not doing, avoiding certain problems, that's something that's what's hurting you more than the actual problem itself. Your perspective on the problem is the biggest problem. So we can look at life with the perspective of knowing, I know this. I understand this. May be painful, may be difficult, may be challenging. But this is all part of the process. This is going to turn me into something. This is not a form of faith, because everybody says apply faith, belief in yourself. But when you know, I know this. I know that the world is in my head. I know this. The world is in my head. I know that my perception is creating the life that I see. Like, it seems so real. It seems so fucking real. It seems so real in your mind. This is so real. It seems like the biggest thing of them all. This is real to me. This failure really hurts. Or this is a challenge. This feels so real. But it's how I view the problem. That's the biggest problem. So if I can see this as opportunity, if I can see this moment as an opportunity to grow, if I can see this moment as the greatest moment of my life, everything changes. And that's a different mentality, right? Different mentality, different perspective. Different priorities, fam. That's a different priority. That's somebody who wants to get clear, who wants to understand, who wants to become aware, who wants to move through life with passion and purpose and love. those who want to be safe, those who don't want challenges, those who think that life is this fairy tale that they create for themselves. It's all peace. Let things flow. Let things flow, right? No adversity, no pain. Just go. Just go through life. Breathe. Every moment of our life is the greatest escape. Those are the people who are the most unaware, right? Think about what I'm saying. Think about this. Think about this. If everything around you is changing, everything around you is changing, right? It's moves that you know you need to make, decisions you know you need to make. There's this world that's created, that human beings have created, the man-made world, right? The jobs, the businesses, the money, the relationships, the marriages, the systems, and all these things in place. There's division at all times, right? There's division. You see things. There's division. People have different ways of being, different belief systems. There's division all over, right? So for you to think that you're not going to go through life or wake up every day, that there's not going to be some sort of conflict, then you're delusional. For you to not change your perspective on conflict or change your perception on problems, you're delusional, right? There's one who's trying to avoid all problems, which is impossible, which is a problem itself. I'm trying to avoid all problems. I'm trying to live this, I'm saying, I'm trying to live this, no problems and everything's cool, peace, love, happiness, whatever. Every moment they're looking, I'm good. There's always problems. Especially for that person who thinks I'm avoiding problems. That's a problem in itself. That's the biggest problem. So now when you go through life and there's challenges and there's problems, what if you change your perspective on that and said, you know what? This is the greatest opportunity in my life. Because I am built to solve problems. I am built. You and I are the same. We are built to solve problems. We're built to solve these problems, and every problem that we solve create a whole new set of problems. So life is a never-ending game of adjustments. It's a never-ending game of adjustments. We desire comfort and security, and then when we get it, we desire challenges and passion and purpose. Is that interesting? We desire comfort and security. I'm doing this so I can have the most comfortable money, or I can have money that could be comfortable. Or I do this for security, and then when you get it, oh man, what am I going to do with myself now? I need more challenges in my life. I need more adversity in my life. I need some more problems in my life. That's why you see people, do fucking marathons, and you see people go skydiving, and you see people do different things to challenge themselves, getting involved in different areas of life of challenge and difficulty, right? Because they're in search for that. I want something, a problem to solve. They create their own problems through fantasy, through drama, unnecessary arguments, unnecessary conflict. I'm about to just go around and punch somebody in the face just so I can have something to do. Literally and mentally, right? I'm going to go out and voice my opinion on this so we can have a war. It's like, okay. Failure is one of the best things that can ever happen to you. Failure, challenges, problems, these things happen. And it's our perception of it that creates the clarity and awareness we need to live life with passion, purpose, and also to be mentally prepared for life itself, right? More money, more problems. Exactly, right? More money, more problems. Why is that? Because everybody's trying to take it from you. And also, psychologically, how you take your foot off the gas when you have money in your account. Isn't that interesting? I'm good. I'm getting paid. I'm good. You take your foot off the gas. Then life, you start to deteriorate. Your brain starts to deteriorate. Well, Anthony, what are you saying? Don't have any money in my account? No one's saying that. We're just saying the facts. Someone who thinks they're comfortable. Someone who truly believes they're comfortable, safe, secure. Psychologically, the brain's deteriorating, right? Because I'm no longer alert, I'm no longer aware, I'm no longer passionate, I'm no longer urgent. I allow life to just be, right? Dullness kicks in. I'm searching for the greatest escape of my life. I'm searching for the greatest escape. You won't avoid all of them, but through a shift in perception, you can shorten how long a problem remains in a problem versus making it triumph. Yeah, when you look at problems itself, right, you know they're inevitable, right? You know it's coming. You know it's part of life itself. And the biggest problem is how you view a problem. So where every problem that you solve or every problem you understand comes a whole new set of problems. And the more you go, the faster you go. The more you grow and the more aware you become. And why is that? Why is that? Because that's life itself. You're able to see the world clearly when you understand the problems in the mind, when you understand what's going on. You're able to see the world. You're able to see me because you know it's no longer about you. Isn't that interesting? You're able to see me. I'm able to see you because I'm not all in here about me, right? So the goal is to be clear. Not to avoid problems at all costs. Is whenever a problem comes, see it as opportunity. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Let's understand it. This is what we do. This is what we built for. This is what we do. And now how do you provide value to this world filled with people who are lost and confused? Filled with people who are afraid. Filled with people who are creating their own limitations in their own mind. So now the most aware, the most clear can see things for what it actually is. And they're able to provide value to this world, to those who don't understand themselves. You can be all about peace and love and still be very aware of perspective changes and know how to deal with the problems with they arise and go standardly, which is what I call love. Yes, I understand what you're saying. I understand. Of course, peace and love. I get it. I'm talking about those who, and let me clarify, because some people don't really get what I'm saying. Sometimes they think I'm breaking things down. Is this a mental breakdown? I mean, are you talking about personally for me? When it comes to that, some people avoid all conflict, meaning psychological conflict, right? Avoid addressing the facts about themselves, right? Whatever the result they have in their life, whatever it is, hey, these are the results. These are the moves I made. These are the results I have, right? This is the result that I've created. People avoid that and say, no. No, I don't want anything to do with that. I don't want anything to do with this fact, right? So when it goes like when you're face to face with this problem and you look to avoid it, that's what I'm talking about. People are like, no, man, everything let things happen on its own. It's okay. Instead of looking at this and say, let's address it. Let's address the problem. Let's go all in on this problem. Let's understand this. What is this? How did this happen? Right? How did I get this end result? What can I do to make an adjustment? That's what I mean. No, when the mind avoids or deteriorates. Right. Oh, I get it. You're asking if that's a mental breakdown when the mind avoids. So, of course, right, it's like my perception and perspective on life. I'm looking at life saying, I want to avoid all these things. I create a life I want to escape. I live a life I want to escape from, right? I build a life around the avoidance of my problems. Build a life around the avoidance of my problems. The moment that the escape routes, check this, fam, the moment that the escape routes are no longer strong enough, they're not strong enough. The one pill is not strong enough. The alcohol is not strong enough. The one friend is not strong enough. I need more. The moment that my escape routes no longer become escape routes, it doesn't dull my mind enough, it doesn't allow me to run away, that's where mental breakdown starts to happen. I have no intention to address these problems. I see them, I don't want that smoke. You know what I mean? I'm not into that. I don't want to address these. I'm afraid to address these problems, so I'm going to run away. So now I look to run away. Now, when I run away, that's not strong enough to help me run away either. Think about how many people, hey, the one party is not enough. The one movie is not enough. The one video game is not enough. The one porn is not enough. The one relationship is not enough. I need more. Now, when all these escape routes when I run to these escape routes, and these aren't my escape routes anymore, every time I do them, I'm still being reminded of this problem that exists. There's mental breakdown. It's like, fuck, man, I don't get it. What's going on? My escapes are not strong enough, and I'm not trying to address these problems. We getting this, fam? Who's loving this? Who's getting value out of this right now? Give me some double hand emojis if you're getting value out of this live today. Find value out of this live. And I appreciate the feedback too, because, you know, a lot of people don't understand when I talk about these things. They think I'm making fun of people, or they think I'm, you know, what do you mean, Anthony? Like, I don't get this, I don't get that. So I like the back and forth of this. It's cool. Give me some of these emojis if you're feeling this live today, fam. Awesome. I always post the recordings on my YouTube channel, fam. So if you want to see the replay, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just search my name up, Anthony Minaya, or go on my Instagram. You see the highlights. You go on my YouTube, on the highlights, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I always post the replays. So go check out the replays of my lives. Also, go check out anthonyminaya.com. Subscribe to my daily journal. Those of you who are subscribed to my journal on here, subscribe to my journal, and you will see where this live came from, how inspired I am to talk about this live. That's exclusive content, fam. anthonyminaya.com, daily journal. Subscribe to that. It's only $5 a month. Daily inspiration coming your way. Content I don't share with the world. I don't share on here. This is my morning thoughts, right? Of how I see the world, how I view myself, and how I start my day with a perspective shift, right? Because there's no problem a change of perspective can't solve. So go subscribe to that. $5 a month. Also, book your one-to-one phone calls with me. AnthonyMinaya.com for those who are serious and ready to invest in themselves. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys for being on. Much love to you all. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, because I go live every Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And have a great day, fam. Love you guys. Take care. Peace.